The floaties are back. This is our photo submission contest that we'll be hosting. And once again, we will be hosting it starting very soon, actually. And so we want to give you some rundown. I'm not going to spend epic amounts of time on this, but I am going to spend a little bit of time on it. So we're going to go over the floaties because I want each category to get its highlights and everything so everybody knows what's going on. So let's talk about the categories eligible for this year in the Floatie Awards. First up is arch design. This is a freestanding arch concept that is designed that people are able to walk through. This is not a garland. This is not something rigged on a wall, and just because it's in the shape of an arch, that doesn't make it an arch. People have to be able to pass through it in order to count. Excuse me, and we want to give a big shout out to our friends at ballooncoach.com for sponsoring this year's category. Thank you for that. Hold on, sorry. And in this particular contest, 1 photo per entry. You are allowed to enter 1 photo per entry in the arch design competition. This is one of the multi-photo challenges. This is baby shower or gender reveal. So this is basically any event that takes place. You're talking about baby showers, you're talking about gender reveal parties, all of that fun stuff. You are allowed to submit up to 5 photos for 1 entry in this category. So in other words, if you've done an event with multiple pieces, you're allowed to submit as many as 5 photos in this particular category. Backdrop or wall design. This is a 2-dimensional concept that is intended to serve as a balloon wall or backdrop for a stage, for a photo op, whatever you want to do. It is not a mural. Murals are a different category. So this is a non-mural backdrop or design concept for a wall. Okay? So keep that in mind. 1 photo per entry. Ceiling decor. 1 photo per entry. This is decorations, obviously things that you have hung on the ceiling in order to decorate a space or venue. And we want to give a big shout out to our friends at Click Click for sponsoring this particular Floatie Award. By the way, no, you are not required to use Click Click products in your entry. They're just simply sponsoring this particular competition. Column design, same thing. 1 photo per entry. Again, turning in photos of your favorite balloon columns. Corporate decor. This is a 5 photo submission category. Any event you did for any for-profit company. Anything you did for a for-profit company or event. Anyway. So like tech jobs, whatever, anything, pretty much anything you did. Any employee function, Christmas holiday party, whatever. Anything that was done for a private company. Up to 5 photos per entry. Dance floor decor, 1 photo per entry. Obviously, any decor that was made to decorate a dance floor. Doesn't matter what the event is. Could be a wedding, could be a high school, could be anything at all. Whatever it's for, if you decorated the dance floor, you should consider turning it in. Deco twisting decor. This is the combination of using classic decor techniques and non-round techniques in a twisted format. Okay? The 1 photo per entry. So again, rounds and non-rounds together. Delivery piece, just like it sounds. A delivery piece that's obviously intended for someone, and the photo needs to be where the average person could pick it up and carry it around. Yes, I know you can make an 8-foot tall delivery piece, but dear God, the average person can't carry that around. So keep that in mind with submitting your entry. 1 photo per entry. The brand new category this year, distortion design. Okay? Distortion. Obviously, the manipulation of an uninflated balloon, either from inside or outside the balloon. Okay? So there you go, using a combination of inflated and uninflated balloons to create a distorted effect. 1 photo per entry. Entrance decor. This can be anything. This can be any kind of decor at all that is used as an entrance. But like the arch competition, it must be freestanding and people have to be able to walk through it. You cannot submit a backdrop and say it could be an entrance. No, it needs to be an entrance or not. Now, I will say that organic garland going over an entranceway would count for this. Okay? Technically, that would count. So I just kind of changed my mind on the whole freestanding thing. Because you could have an existing wall and somebody's put garland and crap all over the wall. So there's that. Foil design, 1 photo per entry. Same thing. The design must be predominantly made of foil balloons. Helium design must incorporate helium balloons, 1 photo per entry. Lighting effects. This is any decor that you've done that is either internally lit or externally lit. But remember, it should be something you are doing, not like the AV company did, and now my balloons look cool. Okay. Linking decor. This is any decoration at all that's done using predominantly linking balloons. Milestone event. 5 photos in this category. So moving forward, if I don't say the count, assume it's 1. 5 photos in this category. This is any form of life event. This could be a birthday. This could be a birthday. This could be a birth. This could be a 50th anniversary. This could be a celebration of life. Okay. We do have a separate category for teen specific events, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, milestone event, and technically that would still count. So there you go. But we ask that you divvy those up just in the teen event. So there's that. Mixed media, 1 photo per entry. This is balloons plus something else, whether it's foam board, whether it's fabric, whether it's tassels, whether it's flowers. Mosaics are not part of this category. They have their own category. So do not submit a mosaic and say it's foam. That won't count anymore. But there we go, mosaic design. So we all know the shadow box technique. We're creating a shadow box style design and then putting balloons in it. That is a mosaic. That is, 1 photo per entry. The mural design. This is a balloon wall that has a design, text, picture, or something of that nature designed into the pattern of the wall. Okay? So again, it could be a corporate logo, as long as you have permission to use it. It could be a face. It could be a specific branded color pattern. It could be text. It could be anything, but it's got to be designed into the wall, not just stuck balloons on the outside of it. Okay? Nonprofit decor, 5 photos per entry. This is work you've done for a nonprofit event. This could be a church or a school or a charity event that you've done, whether you are paid or not. Okay. The one thing you cannot do, though, is use something you've done to promote your own business. That is not the same as a nonprofit event. Okay. It has to be done for somebody else. So there's that. Organic decor, pretty commonplace. This could be anything. Anything that is organic decor. It could be a garland. It could be an arch. It could be a column. It could be a centerpiece. It could be the balloon dress thing. It could be garland on trees. It could be whatever you want to do. Whatever it is, 1 photo per entry. Parade or festival. The key word here is outdoors. Any balloons that you did for a parade or outdoor festival, up to 5 photos in this category. Photo op design, single photo per category, something that was created specifically for people to take pictures with. This could be a backdrop concept. This could be an incredible organic garland. This could be a sculpture. It could be anything at all that was created for people to stand with and take pictures. Now we get into the 3 categories of sculpture. We have a linking sculpture competition where, again, the sculpture must be predominantly made of linking balloons. We have a non-round category where, again, it must be predominantly twisted pieces. And finally, a round balloon sculpture category made of predominantly round balloons. Each one of those is a single photo per entry category. Table centerpiece, pretty simple stuff here. Any table centerpiece that you've created that's turned out really elegant, but remember, it must honor the 14-inch rule, which, of course, is that from the tabletop to 14 inches up, people got to be able to see themselves through the piece, not a buffet piece. Teen event decor, 5 photos for this submission, 5 photos. This is a mitzvah. This is a sweet 16 or a quinceañera. This is any of those types of parties. It could be a homecoming dance, anything that is specifically targeted at teenagers. Okay, because I know for some of you, that's like half of your business. So there you go. So that's a separate category entirely. Now we get into the themed events. These are also 5 photo categories. Themed event holiday. These are primary holidays. Okay, Christmas, Halloween, New Year's, Diwali, predominantly strong holidays that you would find on every calendar you would look at. Okay? President's Day. If you're in another country, please let us know what holiday we're talking about. We want to be respectful to all the holidays that are there. But, for example, you cannot, National Taco Day does not count as a holiday. Okay? National Hug a Friend Day is not a holiday. That's a theme, which takes us to our next concept, themed other. Okay? This could be Taco Tuesday. This could be any event that you've done that had a unique theme to it. Okay? No matter what theme. Now, again, remember, all the trademark stuff still applies. Okay? So there's all that. So keep that in mind, and there we go. Wedding or bridal. 1 photo per entry. This could be centerpieces. This could be, wait a minute, is that one? Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't remember if that's 1 or 5. Let me look. And I don't have it there. Oh, I'm sorry. It is up to 5 photos. I'm sorry. So multi-decor pieces, centerpieces, backdrops, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It can be wedding or bridal themed. It could be a couple shower. It could be the rehearsal dinner. It could be the wedding ceremony. It could be the wedding reception. Bachelorette or bachelor parties count as other, as the theme other category. So bachelor parties and bachelorette parties, hen parties, they don't count in the bridal or wedding category. They count as theme or other. And then our last 2 categories, overall event under $10,000 up to 5 figures and up to 5 photos, and overall event over $10,000. So if you've had a client that paid you more than $10,000 or less than $10,000 and you love what you did with the event, you can enter it in the category. We may ask to see the bill. We may ask to see the invoice. Okay? So keep that in mind before you enter. All right. We don't have a whole lot of rules like the other one did, but we do have some that we want to go over with everybody. So we want to explain that very quickly. To answer an earlier question that I saw in there from Jenny Porter, the timeline of entries is April 1st of 2024 through December 31st of 2025. So basically, any design or any work that you have done between these dates are eligible to be turned in. The reason for this is after the last float convention and before the new one. Okay? So keep that in mind. Yes, I am well aware that December 31st has not yet come. Well, that's because there's still plenty of time for you to do those and turn them in. So that's it. Please don't make us burn you. We have had situations in the past where we have found photos from people turned in of work that was actually done 5 or 6 years ago. Please don't. Please don't. Yes, you can use the same photo in multiple categories, but the same photo must require a separate fee for each category. So, for example, you can enter an organic arch as an arch. You can enter it as an entrance. It can be entered as organic. But you got to pay a separate fee for all 3 of them. The fees, you don't get to pay 1 fee and enter the photo in 3 categories. So that would be $3 or $5 or $7, $3 or $5 or $7, $3 we'll explain that in a minute. So you can enter the same photo multiple times, but it's got to be with a separate fee in each category. All of our entries need to be properly labeled. Guys, we get hundreds of photos submitted. There was one year, 700 photos were submitted, and I swear to God, over half of them were img.jpg. Can't do it anymore. Your photos must be labeled properly. The top example is, let's say you're going to enter a single photo competition and you're only going to enter 1 entry. It says FLOATEE 2026, your name, and then the category, arch. The second example, if you're going to enter the same competition with multiple entries, you just need to number. So in other words, arch 1, arch 2, arch 3. The bottom example is for those of you that are entering the 5 or more or up to 5 photo category. So for example, Steve Jones, corporate 1A, corporate 1B, corporate 1C. Then let's say I enter another one, corporate 2A, corporate 2B, corporate 2, and so on. I hope that makes sense to everybody. We really need you to label these photos. We really need you to label these photos. I cannot stress this enough. You really need to label these photos, okay? Because we will send them back to you. All right, entries should not contain any branding or be able to figure out who the hell you are. I grabbed a photo that did both. So do not, under any circumstances, use a photo with you in it, or one of your team in it wearing your branded shirt, or a watermarked photo. You can't, not for this. You can't enter it. We don't, the point is for the panel not necessarily to know who you are. So please, please, please do not submit photos. We will send them back to you. Okay? The deadlines. Submissions will open on Monday, November 17th. That is a week from this Monday. A week from Monday. If you wish to enter, you can enter between November 17th to December 7th, and it's only $3 per entry. Okay? $3 per entry up until December 7th. Then on December 8th, the price goes to $5 an entry, and you will have until December 21st. And if you wait till December 22nd, and you want to get entered before the end of the year, each entry will be $7. Okay? We do this on purpose because we try to get you to enter earlier. So we are not hit on the last day with 500 photos. I'm already tired thinking about it. So keep that in mind. We will have payment links available on the Orange Store. And remember, all the money that is used in this competition goes towards scholarships for Float. And this year, we are going to guarantee that one of the floaty entries, if you don't win a floaty, there will be an exclusive scholarship just for one of those people. Let me be very clear. I did not just say if you enter and you don't win, you get a free scholarship. No. What I'm saying is if we have enough money raised for, say, 5 scholarships, one of those scholarships will be awarded to an individual that didn't win any floaties. Okay? Because we want you there. So that, for right there, it's worth it entering just one time. Because if you don't win, you're in that drawing. Okay? And there is one other slide that I forgot to make that I realized just now because I see Ariel commenting. Yes, faculty are allowed to enter the floaties. They're not allowed to compete at float, but they can enter the floaties. And folks, with that, I thank each and every one of you for joining me as part of our competition breakdown for Float 2026.